Welcome back to American Agenda. Well, Dave Chappelle's new Netflix special, The Closer, is sparking major controversy among viewers, especially those who are part of the LGBTQ community. In his special, Chappelle makes jokes and remarks about transgender people as well as homosexuals. Take a listen to this.
I am not saying that to say that trans women aren't women. I am just saying that those that they got, you know what I mean? In our country, you can shoot and kill a but you better not hurt a gay person's feelings.
Now, in response, a group of transgender employees at Netflix are planning a walkout in retaliation. So are Chappelle's jokes truly just for comedy purposes, or in fact, are they harmful? Our panel is back with us to react. Joe, let me start with you.
Right.
Is comedy still alive? Can we, can we say a joke anymore? What do you think?
I've had people on my show, I've had comedians on the show, and that's the first question, Mercedes, I always ask. Can you still be a comedian in 2021 America? And the answer is, if you're Dave Chappelle, by the way, I disagree with most of what he says, but if you're Dave Chappelle and you believe in the First Amendment, you can be funny. You can go out and say what you want to say. And if there's a consuming audience that wants it, they can go and watch you. You know, I disagree with Dave Chappelle when he sanctified George Floyd last year on that special. And then now he's talking about trans and he's talking about the N-word constantly. But here's a guy, think about this. He walked away from allegedly $50 million in Comedy Central because he believed in something. And he's, I mean, again, he is the guy that I can look at, and I disagree with a lot of it, what he says, but I can say he's somebody who enjoys the First Amendment to a level that maybe the rest of us should stand up and enjoy it as well. He has the right to say what he's saying, and those few trans people, because it's 0.3% of the population who walk out at Netflix, I don't think should affect Dave Chappelle's ability to do what he does.
Well, I think we're getting to a crazy point in which artists can't push the boundaries. That's why they're artists. That's what they do. And comics that have to edit everything they say, they're not funny. And that's why you need to let them go. If you take offense, change the channel or don't watch it. So Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos defending the special in a memo obtained by Variety says, with The Closer, we understand that the concern, and not about offensive in some content, but the titles which could increase real-world harm, such as further marginalizing already marginalized groups, hate, violence, etc. Last year, we heard similar concerns about 365 days of violence against women. While some employees disagree, we have a strong belief that content on screen doesn't directly translate to real-world harm. Now, I don't know if we have the sound of something he said. Do we have that where he said something about, okay, here's a perfect example of his sense of humor, and it's often misread. Let's listen to this, and then I'll ask you, Bobby, about it.
You guys are confusing the emotions. You think I hate gay people, and what you're really seeing is that I am jealous of gay people. Oh, I'm jealous. I'm not the only black person that feels this way. We blacks, we look at the gay community and we go, God damn it, look how well that movement is going. Look how well you are doing. And we've been trapped in this predicament for hundreds of years. How the are you making that kind of progress? I can't help but feel like if slaves had baby oil and booty shorts, we might have been free 100 years sooner, you know what I mean?
Okay, now, I think that's pretty funny. I think a lot of people would. And it was interpreted as offensive to gays and lesbians. And he is criticizing whites, so you're not even getting the message he's making. But Bobby, again, I get back to the artist, has to be able to push those boundaries. If you don't like it, change the channel.
Right, and here's the thing about comedy, too. It's often several layers deep. You know, these comedians tend to be some pretty smart people, and they're going for some humor that the left, I guess, just can't comprehend. But the other thing that we're seeing is we're seeing this cancel culture run amok. I saw Damon Wayans come out, and he supported Dave Chappelle. But I grew up in an era where you had Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder. You know, Richard Pryor would go out and do these comedy specials. They do their movies together. You couldn't probably put anything on there without major
You
content
can't say the
warnings
name
like
of
they
his
do.
albums.
Right, yeah. So, and like you said, to your point, all of this stuff that gets endowed from the National Endowment of Arts was always pushing the envelope, pushing the boundaries. And now you can't do it. You can only do it for, I guess, white people. If you attack them, it's probably safe. Any other protected group, it's out of bounds, and it leads to this rhetoric of hate speech.
It's such
Joe,
a great
do you
point.
think
Go ahead, Mercedes. Sorry.
I really want to ask you quickly, do you actually think this walkout is going to work? You're seeing organizations put a lot of pressure on Netflix to remove the special from the platform. We've got the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation, otherwise known as GLAAD. They were tweeting, Dave Chappelle's brand has become synonymous with ridiculing trans people and other marginalized communities. Negative reviews and viewers loudly condemning his latest special is a message to the industry, and audiences don't support platforming anti-LGBTQ diatribe, and we agree. So do you actually think these organizations, will the walkout, will it work? 15 seconds.
It shouldn't, because it's going to be very small. It probably will, because they have a lot of political power. And as Bobby said, no Richard Pryor today. You couldn't have you couldn't have George. You couldn't have George Wallace. You couldn't have Blazing Saddles the movie. So I mean, we're in a really strange time right now. The First Amendment either matters or it doesn't.
George Wallace is still funny, by the way. Still working.
He is.
All right. Joe Pags and Bobby Eberle, thank you, gentlemen. Coming up, we'll check in with Amanda Brohanty on social media. Stay with us.
All right, friends, thanks again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And before you go, please hit that subscribe button above. Once you do, tell your friends, share it, spread the word about the 13-minute news hour so we can keep growing. And for more great content, check out these videos right here, and I'll see you next time.